Marwah Rizqy is the Liberal MNA for the riding of Saint-Laurent, and she's in charge of a lot of hot dossiers inside the Liberal Party. Official opposition critic for energy, among many other things. Madame Rizqy, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me.
And I just got to say, looking at the list of the things where you're official opposition critic for, I looked at the entire list and I said, wait, does anyone else in the Liberal Party work? Do you have every single dossier? What's going on there?
No, I don't have everything. I do have a lot on my plate, but honestly, I have a great team, and it's very busy.
You have a lot of on your plate, and you've got a baby in your arms. You got little Abe with you as well, right? Should point that out.
Absolutely.
So let's talk to both you and Abe about the hot topics of this morning. First things first, I want to talk about energy, right? That very important dossier. We got a story this week. I know you went out and visited this company, in fact, the Sorel Steel Forge. This is a company, 320 jobs, good paying jobs. You know, they make $80,000 to $120,000 each. And some of these jobs, or maybe all of the jobs, are at risk because the company can't get access to energy. And they're worried that they won't be able to get access to energy from Hydro-Quebec. I know this is a very big deal in Quebec at the moment. Who gets the energy? What can you tell us?
Well, first and foremost, remember when Mr. Pierre Fitzgibbon decided that he's going to be the one deciding who's going to get the energy and who's going to be denied the energy. And also, Mr. Legault signed a contract with New York, and they sell our electricity. And 3 weeks later, they told us, oh, by the way, we don't have more energy for all of you guys. So right now, the issue that we have is we have in one site, Nordvolt, with 360 megawatts. They're on hold, and we don't know what's going to happen with this company. We all read the international news that they're not doing that fantastic, to say the least. And just for the people to understand what is 360 megawatts, it's about the size of Longueuil, the city of Longueuil. This is how much you can electrify housing and also companies. Like, take the city of Longueuil, this is 360 megawatts. But the Forge is ahead. They don't need 360. They only need 16 megawatts. That's nothing. Like, usually, this should be easy breezy, get them the energy. And what they want to do with that is to make the green turn and be able to be competitive. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, not only they were denied, but they asked why. And the government, they didn't want to tell them what is the criteria, where the laws, the point. And they just told them at the end, you know what? The real reason is because we don't have enough energy for you. So you have to apply again. So this is why, as the Liberal critic, we asked this week, instead of waiting after Nordvolt and to sit on 360 megawatts, let's give the megawatts to the company here in Quebec that already established, that have real jobs on the line, give them the energy. And when if Nordvolt is still coming here in Quebec, if one day they're going to be able to make sure that they have this finance ready, when they're going to be ready in 2028, we'll give them the energy. But right now, in 2024, we cannot wait because we have real jobs on the line. And Elias, on Saturday, we'll be in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean because there's another company who needs 10 megawatts, and there's 100 jobs on the line there.
So, and listen, you're making a great case here. Obviously, you're referencing the deals where we sell our electricity to New York State, the deals we have with foreign companies for electricity, and then leaving Quebec companies behind. Now, there has been a major shakeup, obviously. Pierre Fitzgibbon is out of the government. We sort of heard a different tune from Michael Sabia when he recently spoke, the head of Hydro-Quebec. Do you feel the government is realizing that they went down the wrong path? Do you think there will be a readjustment here?
Well, Michael Sabia, he's a well-respected man. He was at the Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec. He did very well, and now he's the head of Hydro-Quebec. And when I asked him during the commission, what do you think about the energy that we're giving away to foreign companies, he said it out loud with feelings. He said it that they have to rebalance to make sure they give more to the company already established here in Quebec before giving away our electricity to foreign companies that do not exist. Because Nordvolt, let's be honest, is a startup company. His own government in Sweden doesn't want to give a penny to the company. The main manufacturer of Nordvolt is not running full capacity, and Nordvolt actually decided to not go forward with the second company in Sweden. They're supposed to launch in Poland and also in Portugal another manufacturing, and they decided not to go forward. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, when two of your shareholders, Volkswagen and Goldman Sachs, decided not to put more money in the company, is because things are not doing that well.
And to that, right? You mentioned the Swedish government doesn't seem to be willing to put more money in the company. So it is interesting how Quebec wants to put in more money in a company that others, like some of the owners, don't want to. Why do you think that is? And by the way, it doesn't just seem to be the Quebec government. This also seems to be the Canadian government right now, and how they decide where to invest. They don't come up with broad programs that any company can qualify for. What they decide to do is pick winners. They decide to pick, hey, let's go after this company. Let's go after this company. What do you think about that strategy in general?
It's not a very good strategy because, let's be honest here, Mr. Pierre Fitzgibbon and Mr. Legault, they wanted to sign a big deal, historic deal, and they said this is going to be the deal of the century. That's how they presented last year the deal. And they said we're going to put $7 billion in a foreign startup. Let me say that again. Foreign startup. Like, this is my money and your money with our tax dollar. I don't think they understand. When you're the Premier of Quebec, you are not on the show, the Shark Tank. So this is not a show. This is real money. So this is not your job to risk our money. And when Mr. Legault said last week, it was a risk. It was a calculated risk. Excuse me, can I see the chart of your of your calculated risk? Because so far so good, you did not do well. And I think like Mr. Legault thinks our tax dollar is monopoly dollar. He went to the casino. He decided to risk our money and also our precious electricity. And it's not good for now because we saw that we have local company here in Quebec that not only they don't have the grant that they're giving away to a foreign company, but they don't have access to the electricity that they actually need to make their own expansion here in Quebec.
I got to ask you, when you do this interview in French, will you say L'œil du dragon or will you say Shark Tank? That to me is very...
L'œil du dragon, because I have to tell you, before when I was a young student at law and a young lawyer, I used to work in a big law firm, and we were actually representing some of the dragons. So I say dragon.
Well, they're all great shows, by the way, either the Quebec, the Canadian, or the American version. We're with Marwah Rizqy, the M&A for Saint-Laurent, official opposition critic for energy, talking about various matters. Madame Rizqy, Marwah, I have to ask you about the leadership race inside your party. Yesterday, my goodness, the imagery of Pablo Rodriguez crossing over from
the river.
So Ottawa to Gatineau. I'm in front of Maurice the Rocket Richard. What do you think about Pablo Rodriguez entering the race?
I am so happy because 2 years ago when we lost the election, people are like saying like no one wants to run for the party. There will be no race. And today we have at least 5% who wants to run for the leadership race. This is great news for all the liberals inside of my parties because we want to have the debates. We want to see what they have on their platform. And I think stay tuned. I'm pretty sure we're going to have one more coming.
And have you picked a horse in this race?
No, because I want to make sure that the person who wants to lead the Liberal caucus, the Liberal Party, we are aligned with the values that are very important for me and also for my husband. So, of course, if I choose, me and Greg, we're going to make sure we choose the right person together because at the end of the day, we'll live in the same house.
That's going to be, that'll be interesting, right? You want to make sure you're both in agreement on the candidate here. So you say one more, there's a good chance one more name is going to be putting themselves in this race.
Yes, I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay, well, listen, thank you so much for your time this morning, and thanks to Abe as well for being so patient.
Thank you. Have a good show.
You too. That's Marwah Rizqy from the Quebec Liberals.